Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to High Quality Trades. In today's video, we will be going over the most significant support and resistance levels on the SPY, the triple Qs, all of the fateful 8 mega cap stocks, and Lululemon. Lululemon is my trade of the day, and I'll go over my thought process of why I bought it and when I sold it. So let's start this video off here on the SPY's 4-hour time frame. So today is February 18th, and the most recent close of the SPY was 611.49. Today it reached a high of 611.49 and a low of 608.38. It was positive 0.29% on the day. Okay guys, what is the SPY currently doing? Well, looks like today we ran a test of the previous all-time high at 609 as support, and then we bounced off that level and we headed back up towards the highs of pre-market at 612.27. If the SPY is able to break above that previous intraday all-time high, then I would expect the SPY to head up towards 615. Now our weekly upper expected move is up here around 617, and the lower weekly expected move is down here at 602.50. Currently, we remain bullish on the SPY, pushing higher. But if some bearish price action does arise, let's go over a bearish scenario for tomorrow and the rest of this week. So if the SPY cannot break above the 612.27 level, then it could head back down towards 609. And if it breaks this support level, then I believe we would be headed down towards this trend line here, which resides somewhere around the 605 level. And then it's even possible that we head down towards our lower weekly expected move around 602 if some bearish price action does arise. Now, to get a better idea of where the market may head tomorrow, let's drop down into the 15-minute time frame, then we'll go over the 200-period moving average. So currently the SPY is above the moving average and we are inclining. So as long as we remain above this, the bulls are in control and we should continue on higher. So tomorrow look for this 612.27 level to be broken, and then somewhere around the 615 levels where I'm expecting the SPY to head up to. Again, if any bearish price action arises and we drop below this 200-period moving average, first look for this 609 level to hold as support, but if it can't, SPY could head down towards 605. Alrighty, that's going to be it for the SPY. Let's move on to the triple Qs. We'll go out onto the 4-hour time frame. So the triple Qs today managed to hold above support here at 537.70. Then we pushed back up above previous all-time highs around 539.32. Tomorrow, the triple Qs will be headed up towards the 541 level again. If it can break above the intraday all-time high it managed to make today. If we get above that level, then I would expect the triple Qs to head up towards the 544 level, and then even our upper weekly expected move up here around 546. The lower weekly expected move for the triple Qs is down here at 529. Now, just in case some bearish price action arises, let's go over a bearish scenario. Say the triple Qs is not able to break above 541. So if for some reason we start to fall tomorrow, look for that 537 level to hold as support. But if it can't, I'd look for these lows from today to be taken out around 536. They could possibly hold as support, so look for this level. But if it falls below that, then triple Qs could head down towards 533. Now, to get a better idea of where we may head tomorrow here on the triple Qs, let's drop down into the 15-minute time frame and go over our 200-period moving average. So currently price is above the moving average, so the bulls are in control. As long as we remain above this, the triple Q should continue higher. So look for this 541 level to be taken out tomorrow, and then possibly a retest, and then a head up towards 544. Now, if we for some reason drop below the 200 period moving average, look for price to head down towards 533. Alright, that's it for the triple Qs. Let's now head on to Apple. So Apple has managed to remain above the 243 support level. Today it did run a back test of our descending trend line here. If we drop down into the 15 minute, we should see that the test today where we hit this descending trend line and bounced off of it, that is a bullish signal for Apple to continue pushing higher tomorrow. Our next resistance level that Apple will be reaching for is up here at 248. So look for that if we continue moving higher. If for some reason we do fall below the 243 level, look for the lows from today to possibly be taken out at 241.91, or we could head down towards the next support level, which is down here at 240. So, alright, we're going to move on to Facebook. Meta had its first bearish day in quite some time. If you see here on the 1 hour time frame, last week we did break to the upside, which was insinuating a move higher up towards like 770. But considering this does now seem to be a fake out. We broke back down through the pattern and to the downside, finding support here at our 200 period moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Let's move out onto the 4 hour and then we'll go over the levels. So it does look like Meta has found support here at 705. If this level holds as support, then Meta can head back up towards 725. If it's able to get above that level, most likely it'll head back up towards the all-time highs that it hit last week. Being that we had quite the sell-off today, a bounce, we are due for a bounce. So look for that. Now let's move on to Amazon. Amazon actually fell down towards its next support level of 225. Looks like we did bounce off that level. Now it is possible that we head back up towards the 229 level. So look for that. Then if it's able to get above 229, it'll head up towards 233. Now if Amazon remains bearish though, it could head down towards 221. That would be the next support level. So watch for those levels. Now moving on to Google. This one I am bullish on because we do have a bullish divergence forming. If you notice our red line here, we do have 3 lower lows, while the RSI has continued to make higher lows. This is a bullish signal, and it may mean that if Google starts to push higher, there will be some momentum behind it. We could head up towards, well, we would first head up towards 188. Then if we broke above that level, we'd head up towards 190. So look for that. Now, Microsoft. This one I'm also leaning bullish on, but I have yet to see any bullish momentum. We do have somewhat of a falling wedge pattern here. If Microsoft manages to get above the 410 resistance level, I would then look for it to head up towards 415 and then possibly the 418 level. If for some reason Microsoft continues lower and it breaks below the 405 level, it could head down towards 400. So look for that. NVDA actually filled this down gap, so that is a good signal. Looks like the bears have stepped in though. We found resistance at this upper descending trend line. Now we've headed back down below our support resistance level here at 141. So we can look for this previous highs here of 135 to hold that support. It looks like our 200 period moving average also resides in this level. So if NVIDIA starts to fall or continues falling, look for the 200 period moving average here on the 4 hour time frame to hold as support. Now, a bullish signal would be is if we get back above this 141 level and break above this descending trend line. We could head up towards the 149 level. That would be very bullish for NVIDIA here. We do have earnings coming up February 26th, so just be wary of that. Alrighty, let's go on to Netflix. Now, this one I was bearish on going into this week. It looks like with today's price action, we did get quite the bearish day. I did know that we were outside of our monthly expected move, which was at 1,033, I believe. So we have fallen back down towards that. And I would expect Netflix to. We do have support here at 1,032. It looks to be holding as support at the current moment. So if Netflix manages to hold this support level, it could head back up towards the previous all-time highs here at 1,067. But let's say if Netflix breaks below 1,032, the next support level is down here at 1,006. So look for those levels. It's possible that Netflix goes either way. Alrighty, that's going to be it here on Netflix. Let's move on to Tesla. So Tesla is in a descending price channel. We have managed to break above the middle part of this channel, but we are still finding resistance at 360. So if Tesla cannot get above 360, it'll fall back down towards 347, and if that level breaks, we could head down towards 326. I do believe out on the daily time frame we didn't fill our down gap. Maybe we did. It seems to me like there may be a little bit of room left on this up gap to be filled, but that's if we make it all the way down to the close of this candle. So it's possible we could head back down, try to fill this gap. There are some more gaps below if Tesla continues falling. We can go over a bullish scenario real quick here. We are looking for Tesla to get above 360, then it could head back up towards the 370 level, which would be the lower level of this descending triangle. So that could just be some sort of back test before we continue lower. But if it was able to get above 370, we could try to test this upper descending trend line of its price channel, which is even higher up here at 382. So look for that this week. All right, our last one. Let's go over Lululemon. So this one is one I traded today, and the few reasons I'll go over why I decided to trade it. So if you look here on the RSI, we are extremely oversold. So that was one indication here to me that we might get a bounce today. Also, the momentum wave here was in an extreme oversold level. You could see just going back through the weeks, we haven't been this oversold in quite some time. And another signal I like to follow, go down into the 15-minute time frame. We were pretty far extended from our 200 period moving average here when we fell first thing this morning. So once it found support here at 355, I actually entered in the 360 call for 30 days out, but I only held it through today. Ended up selling around 130 today for a few $100 profit, but that was my thought process behind this trade. Okay, let's now go over the levels though where Lululemon could head, because I still remain slightly bullish and it could head up towards this descending trend line here, which also does reside with the 200 period moving average on the 15-minute. So it is possible that Lululemon heads up towards the 383 level come tomorrow or the next day. If for some reason Lululemon breaks below the 367 support level, it will head back down towards 355. Out on the daily time frame, I do believe there is a giant gap that may need to be filled. We didn't quite get there with today's wick, so there's still a little bit of this gap that needs to be filled. Let's say we're filled about 90% of that gap. This gap fully fills here at the upper wick. Let's see. 351.38. So if any more bearish price action comes in here on Lululemon could head down towards that level. We do have an upper ascending trend line that would hold as support if Lululemon fell down towards that level. That would have been my stop loss if it had managed to fall to that level, but it should hold as support, or it's a likely support level, I should say, being that we're still oversold and we're coming off some extremely oversold levels on the momentum waves. We could head back up towards the zero line, which would in turn push price maybe up towards the 200 here on the 4-hour time frame. But let's just trade the price action, people. Alrighty, guys, thanks for watching high quality trades. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.